Hiya, how is it going? Today, in the episode of Thursday with Alex, we're going to begin with the name of a bar that's called The Spice of Life, and then we'll talk about different meanings of the word spice. But yeah, to start with, there's a common saying, something is the spice of life. So what do you think that something might be?
Variety, it's the spice of life. You're doing something completely different.
The fifth and final value for me is spontaneity. I do think that variety is the spice of life.
My shoes would say that traveling and meeting people is the spice of life.
Yeah, variety is the spice of life. It's hard to disagree with that, isn't it? And the word spice in that sense means extra interest and excitement, and you typically say to add spice to something. For example, I went on a solo trip to Mexico to add some spice to my life. The scandal added a little spice to office life.
I sent those sort of wild bird, add a bit of colour and spice to the park as well.
No spice to her character. To add spice to your style.
Music also adds spice to tedious tasks.
People ask me, Carol, how do you and Bruce keep the spice in your marriage?
You see, it's just that kind of sarcasm that's given our marriage real spice.
I knew that your presence would add a little spice to tonight's proceedings.
A word that can be used similarly is zest, which again would mean extra excitement and the quality of being fun. For instance, the slight risk added extra zest to the experience. But a lot of the examples I found are about love affairs, so I'm really sorry about that. It's like the love affair added a little zest to her life, and then the danger of being caught added a certain zest to the affair. But zest can also mean an enthusiasm for something, and people often say she has a great zest for life, for example.
I want to find somebody who has such a zest for life and is energetic and full of joy.
My depression came as a massive shock to the people who knew me. I always had an extroverted zest for life.
He decided that if he retires, he will lose his zest for life and die within 48 hours or something. I don't know.
Let's take a break for a sec and talk about the literal meanings of those words. So zest is another word for peel of a lemon or a lime when it's used in cooking. And the word spice, naturally, is another thing that's used in cooking. And let's see what kind of spices I've got. Whole cloves, cinnamon sticks, ground cinnamon, cardamom, star anise, I hardly ever use them, coriander leaf, and in the US they call it cilantro, parsley. And yeah, strictly speaking, they are herbs. So I've got mixed herbs. And in the US, they say herbs. Paprika, both in the UK and the US, but also paprika in the UK. Crushed chilies, there are almost none left. And bay leaves. Now back to the metaphorical meanings, we can use the verb spice up figuratively to mean to make something more exciting and interesting. For instance, he exaggerated the details to spice up his story. Or you can find lots of tips on how to spice up your relationship online or how to spice up your marriage.
Our editor's trying to spice things up a little bit. He says the public wants more substance.
You know, when you've been married as long as we have, you're looking for anything to spice things up a bit.
If you want to spice up your trip, the most important single word is turkey.
So guys, hope you enjoyed that and hope you got some great ideas on how you can spice up your recruitment process.
Don't get me wrong, I hit you with some fantastic curveballs along the way and great fantasy moments just to spice things up.
Another common way of using it is to spice up your love life or your sex life. And that brings us to the next meaning of the word spicy. Spicy means interesting in a way that's a bit shocking because it contains some sexual references. So we could say spicy details, spicy story, a spicy novel, but it all refers to something, to it being sexual, and the corresponding noun would be spiciness. So just be aware, be careful using it.
You cannot title a video Spicy Summer Camp Story and then have it be about actual spices. That's just false advertising.
That's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I have to make a little announcement that I'm gonna take a break, probably the whole August, but I might pop up in your stories in the middle of the month. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to coming back to the regular Thursdays with Alex, and in case you missed me, there's always highlights where you can brush up on the material we've covered. So yeah, take care. I'm gonna see you whenever, and cheers. Bye bye. The literal meaning. Oh, that lemon is disgusting. To my life.